Hello YouTube, so I've done a couple of these shard openings and I did pull 2 legendary champions from them. You can check out my other videos to see the openings if you want to, but today I want to go through both of my pulls and see what these legendaries can be used for, what team to build around them, and so and so. This is something you also can do when you pull your first legendary or a good epic. If you haven't tried Raid before or you want to start a new account with tons of free stuff, please use my link to download Raid and you get the legendary champion Karato right after you finish the tutorial. You'll also get all of these amazing epics in your first week. You'll have 24 hours to pick one of the amazing promo codes for an extra legendary champion, but you can only choose one, so be smart about it. I also want to give a shout out to Raid for sponsoring this video. Now let's start. So today I want to take a look at the 2 legendaries I pulled from my shard opening videos, Holstring and the Incarnate. So I'll go over them. Let's head over to the website here and then we'll start with Holstring. He is a legendary attacker. Spooky Holstring joins the rank for the Sacred Order after his sabbatical in Assassin's Creed, and he is a complicated champion. On paper, he reads as a pretty poor legendary, as generally random attacks are incredibly frustrating. However, he will have some very good niche uses. Against single targets, he quickly becomes a godlike damage dealer. That pair with A3 that will steal 100% turn meter when booked, well, help consider on Faction War bosses, Fire Knight and Dark Fae. So my main area is gonna be Fire Knight. I think that's like his strongest points or strongest area. So we'll try and set up a team that can be good there. So consider using Reflex to get back to A3 more rapidly. He does well in Fire Knight because of his multi-hit abilities. He's best paired with another perfect wheel champion such as Tatsura and or Duchess, but I don't have those. So optimally, I would definitely have a different team for him, but we gotta work with what we have, so I'll definitely try and get the best out of it, or do the best I can. He provides his own increased attack buff on A1 and brings very strong base stats, so he's like a incredibly strong single target nuker. So he also good in Hydra and Dark Fae, but we're focusing on Fire Knight. I think it's gonna be our main area. Holstring skills, his attack Rampant Blows. He attacks one enemy 2 times if this champion is under Veil or Perfect Whale buff. Each hit has a 50% chance to decrease the target's turn meter by 15% and place a 50% increased attack buff on this champion. And his Overthrow attacks one enemy 3 times, and if this target is under Hex debuff, each hit will ignore 25% of the target's defense. So he ignores defense, which is very good against tanky targets, and he will ignore a further 25% of the target's defense if they're also under a decreased speed debuff. And he has that in his Witchfinder attack, and he will also ignore an additional 25% of target's defense if they are from the Bannerlords of Night Revenant factions. Yeah, so his Witchfinder ability, like we said, it decreases speed, so he sets up his speed debuff here. Also placing a Hex has a 75% chance of placing a Hex debuff for 3 turns and 30% chance of decreasing decreasing speed debuff for 2 turns. And champions of the Bannerlord and Night Revenant faction cannot resist those debuffs, so very strong there. Each hit also has a 75% chance to steal 25% of target's turn meter, so he is also like a turn meter manipulator type champ. If this target is from the Bannerlord or Night Revenant faction, steals 50% of turn meter instead. Also places a Perfect Wheel buff on the champions for 2 turns. And Hunter Skiles, if this champion attacks the target under a Hex debuff and a decreased speed debuff, place a Perfect Wheel buff on the champion for 1 turn. This effect will not activate when counter-attacking. Also increases this champion's crit damage by 30%. So he definitely scales with crit. Yeah, so this one also, the Rampant Blows, place a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack is a critical. So that's very important to note that you have to have crit on this one. So I think crit rate is the most important stat for him, and then you obviously want to follow that up with crit damage. And any attacker needs some sort of attack percent, and definitely you have to have speed to get in those attacks. So that's what I would focus on for stat wise for this one. And for masteries, you'll also just want to keep complementing that. And the fact that it ignores defense allows us to just full send in this as well. So for gear wise, I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but I was looking at some some of these set pieces, and I thought that Savage could be an interesting one for him because it complements his ignore champion defense, right? I'm not sure if we're gonna get enough crit percent with this, so that might be something you have to reconsider. But if we can get enough crit, then I think Savage could be good, ignoring even further over the champion's defense, making him take down tanky targets really well. So that's one area I was thinking, and we already it's obtained from Fire Knight, which is kind of where we're going anyway. So I think it's just a good path for us. If we're gonna do Fire Knight and get the set piece from there, I think it's fine to do that. And I think Perception could be good. Obviously speed is also fine, but let's take a look at Perception here. So the Perception Shed 2-piece has plus 40 accuracy and 5% speed. So increase accuracy and speed, letting you go first and land your most important debuffs. So I think this is a good set for him. So those are two of the things I would think about going, but maybe I'm incorrect, I do not know, but for me that seems logical. So now let's take a look at the Incarnate. It's a legendary defense champion. Amongst the ranks of the High Elf army, Incarnate stands resolute against Arbiter, against the forces of Demon Spawn. So there's already a connection there between Arbiter and the Incarnate, and those two are something we have to talk about. She stands as a shield against those who would do harm to her brethren. So she is something that can shield your team for sure. The Incarnate is the hybrid fusion event champion of June 24, and she is blessed with the ultimate power of protection as she places buffs to mitigate the damage allies receive and provokes enemies to make her the primary target. So very good defensive for your team to keep them alive and provoke them to attack her. And she's opening with the defensive measures HE. She places both an ally protection and strength buff on allies. Very good buffer for your team. So this combination of buffs is great for areas such as Clan Boss, which I'm not going to be using her, but as this will alleviate the damage your ally receive, therefore enhancing the chance of surviving longer in battle. This also has great synergy with the A2 that places a shield buff on allies, while removing shields random buffs from enemies. The Incarnate is no stranger to bosses or a Magma Dragon, the head of decay, as her ability to provoke enemies can nullify the uses of the skill they possess. So in theory, probably not the best pairing with Holstring, because Holstring has like different areas that are better for, but I still want to try, and mainly because Arbiter could synergize well with Holstring's areas. If you take a quick look at Arbiter here, Arbiter is good at Fire Knight, also very strong in Dragons. I think this team also could work, even though if you take a look at Holstring here and take a look at his Dragon stars here, I still think it's fine. Incarnate is like one of the better areas for its Dragon, around the same actually stars as Holstring, but I think since Arbiter is such strong Dragon fighter, I think that's something we can also use them for. But mainly since Fire Knight is like Holstring's main area, which he excels at, I think that's where we'll be focusing on. So what does the actual skills of the Incarnate do? Let's take a look. So she's attacking one enemy 2 times with the attack intruder skill. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a provoke debuff, so that's provokes them to attack her. Has a 10% chance of it has a 10% chance of counterattacking when an ally Arbiter is hit. So protecting Arbiter, or not protecting, but counterattacking when ally Arbiter is hit. So it's already synergizes, and this occurs once per hit. But yeah, synergizes with Arbiter, which is why we do want to have the Incarnate and Arbiter together. And we have the Phalanx formation here, attacks all enemies. So this is an AoE attack, which is good to have since Holstring doesn't really, Holstring is mainly single target focused. So it helps to have like Incarnate being able to attack multiple targets as well. And has a 75% chance of removing all shield buffs and 1 random buff from all enemies, and then places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. And the value of the shield is proportional to the champion's defense. So scales with defense. So we definitely want to have defense on her. So percent defense is really important. I think also percent HP to keep alive, and definitely speed and resistance's accuracy. We can take a look look here at the crisis response, increases the champion's accuracy by 20 for each ally under ally protection buff. So as long as you have up the ally protection, she already gets a fair set of accuracy. So I think for stats wise, we want to focus on HP percent and defense percent mainly, and then I think speed and resistance is also very good. She has a defensive measure here that places a 50% ally protection buff, so this is what complements the crisis response and setting up her accuracy. So you definitely want to have that buff up as much as possible. She doesn't buff herself, but all allies. Places a 25% strengthen buff as well, which is good. Yeah, and this one, the crisis response, also synchronized with Arbiter. When kill, resets the cooldown of the Destiny's Call skill for any ally Arbiter. And then she has the ultimate purpose, which increases the champion's rest by 20 for each ally under ally protection. Another set that makes her more tanky, can survive longer just by having up ally protection. So very strong to protect team and herself. This champion will also receive 20% of damage of any Arbiter ally. So if they have focus Arbiter, she takes some of the damage and then making Arbiter survive for longer. So pretty good for that purpose. Not like the Incarnate is not considered one of the better ones, but I think with Arbiter she's fine. So I do want to try it out and set up a team like that. So yeah, Arbiter is a strong one. We'll get to her eventually by finishing missions, so that's why I want to pair with Arbiter, because I do have Holstring, the Incarnate, and the fourth one I want to have is Ugo. So I'll talk a little bit about the team, but I want to first take a look at the gear. So for the Incarnate, so let's take a look at here. I was thinking that maybe Guardian could be good because it does complement the ability she always has with shielding her allies. This one shields ally by absorbing 10% incoming damage and grants a 10% healing boost every turn. So I think this could be a good set piece for her, just to give more shields, keeping our allies alive for even longer. So that's what I wanted to have there. And then I was thinking maybe we do speed, since we need speed on her. But I'm not 100% certain this is the correct set to go for, but I will definitely learn on the way. So I think this is just my thought process on what I would do. And she needs like speed, and this is a 2-set piece that provides speed for so allowing her to just keep at it, keep getting in there, keep shielding, keep buffering and doing some AoEs. And yeah, so I think speed is very important. So, and then I would focus on like HP percent for base stats on these, and defense percent as well. Yeah, so those are the gears I would was thinking of going. And yeah, for team setup, I was thinking to pair with, like we already talked about, Arbiter. I would also pair with Ugo, because I already have Ugo, and just an all-round good supporter. And I think Fire Knight is not the best, but it's very strong in Fire Knight as well, and also very good in Dragon. So I was thinking maybe for Dragon and Fire Knight this could work. At least Fire Knight is what I'm mainly aiming this team to be functioning. Like also very strong in Hydra. So if you take a look at Holstring, it's good in Hydra as well. So maybe another team could be good for Hydra. I guess this could maybe work in Hydra, but I don't think that's the main area I want to focus on. But yeah, I think mainly just Fire Knight is where I want to try out this team. So that is my main idea of how to set this up. Yeah, so Incarnate has the AoE and sustain. She deals a little bit AoE damage, or decent AoE damage, and then she helps sustain up, keep everyone alive, and making the enemies focus her, while Holstring can just be like a single target nuker that's keep getting in there, attacking, and also protecting the Arbiter. Arbiter has damage is fine, but also just good at being a support, right? So maybe we have too much support in this team, but I think maybe we're fine. Like Holstring, a lot revolves around Holstring. So yeah, let's head over to and see in game here, how do I get the Arbiter? So to get the Arbiter, I have to complete all of these parts of missions. So we have to scroll away all the way here. You do all of these. This is just part 1, and then you get this, and part 2 you get the shard, and then books, and then you get on part 4 we get Arbiter. So quite a long way to go, but it's just like my goal for now to just continue building up Kale to 60 and then getting Arbiter, so I can do this composition. I would like to try that. So that is my that is the plan I have to set up this team. So very excited for the to getting these 2 legendaries. Obviously Incarnate maybe not the best, but I think with the Arbiter, it could be a lot of fun to try out. I think Holstring is like very niche, like I said, but in Fire Knight, we're gonna have some fun with it. I think it's gonna be good. So that is my plan now, to just get Arbiter and then level up Kale, and then level up the Incarnate, and then obviously Arbiter as well. Holstring, I have at level 50, but I need to get that to 60 as well. So yeah, that is what I'm focusing on now, getting all of those ready. That's it. So that is how I plan to use my legendaries that I pulled from my shard openings. Do let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about it, and don't forget to download Raid from my link and start with Legendary Champion, Karato, and all of these amazing epics in your first week. And don't forget to use one of the amazing promo codes within 24 hours for an extra Legendary Champion. And remember, you can only pick one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I want to say thank you to Raid for sponsoring. Bye bye. See ya.